Happy TGIF. Welcome, fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as well as breaking news. Ethiopia uses its Grand Renaissance Dam to power the Bitcoin mining, generating 18% of its electricity revenue and earning $1 billion just last year. And Max Kaiser reiterates Bitcoin in play, 2.2 million. Send it. We'll also be discussing post-Christmas miracle as Bitcoin ETFs clinch inflows after a 4-day bleed. We'll also be discussing the vote to use the BlackRock BUIDL as back-end asset for Frax stablecoin goes live. Robert Kiyosaki shares some great insights regarding Larry Fink and BlackRock. I'm sure to share this one with you, as well as Bitwise files for the ETF tracking firms with big Bitcoin treasuries, as well as a Trump-linked Strive files for a Bitcoin bond ETF. Also, breaking news, I'll be sharing when Bitcoin is likely to smash $1 million next year if this one catalyst occurs. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much motherfucking more in today's show. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes. Subscribe. Half of you watching are not subscribed. Unacceptable. Let me tell you something. But anyways, today is pod episode number 1861. I'm your host, JV. Happy TGIF. It is Friday, December 27, 2024. 4 days left until 2024 is in the rear view. So make use of it, fam, and stack them sats. Great BTFD opportunity. More than likely, we'll continue with a little weekend correction. So a great time to be stacking the sats before we continue to pump into the new year. 2025 is here, right around the corner. But anyways, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day, pulling up Coin 360 on the screen. Bitty down 1.5%, just under 95 Gs. We have Ether in the green, BNB in the green, Tron in the green, XRP in the green, but barely in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap is sitting at a 3.31 trillion, and the crowd is going wild. And Bitcoin market cap 1.869 trillion, and volume 133 billion in the past 24 hours, up 5.55% on the day. Bitcoin dominance 56.7% with Ether dominance 12.2%. Checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got virtual BGB and Lido DAO. Which alts, if any of the alts, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla at your boy. J to the motherfucking Danger Mouse fee in the building today. We resurrected him. Caffeinated JV. And here you got the crypto bubbles. Looks like I'd say 60% of the market in the green, 40% on the red. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index. Today is 74. I love 7s and 4s. You add the numbers up, it's an 11. Can't complain. But anyways, yesterday was a 79. Extreme greed. Last week a 74 and last month a 75 in greed. And checking out the time chain calendar. Satoshi referred to it as the time chain. Blockchain was actually a propaganda term birthed after Satoshi. And for those that don't know, now you know. And you're looking at the time chain calendar right now. We're currently on block number 876,616. We have 173,384 blocks until the next halving of 2028. And you currently exchange one fiat dollar for 1,058 Satoshi. So stack them sats, stack them sats, and stack them sats. Let's dive into a little technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies, and we'll pull up some of the live charts, shall we? Bitcoin unfazed by the 14 billion option expiry, setting 110,000 Bitcoin price target, which would enter the price discovery. Right now, 108.3 is the all-time high, which we achieved like a week, two ago. Bitcoin price remains resilient despite the last options expiry of the year, which threatened a significant correction below the 85 level. And over 14 billion worth of the IBIDI options expired at 8 a.m. Here on December 27th, with a max pain point of 85, which indicates the price at which most options contracts would be expired worthless. The market experiences a total of the 18 billion worth of the BIDI and Ether options expiry, according to Deribit. Quoting them here, with the market heavily leveraged to the upside, any significant downside move could trigger the rapid snowball effect. All eyes on this expiry to define the narrative heading into the new year, 2025. Bitcoin remained resilient despite the options expiry peaking above 97.3. And 1 hour after last year's options expiry event, or after the year's last options expiry event as per the data here on the one-day chart. And I'll be pulling up some of the live charts here in a moment. Based on the Bitcoin correlation with the global liquidity index, Bitcoin can peak at a local top above 110,000 January before the potential correction. Let me know if you agree, disagree. The U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs ended their losing streak on the day after Christmas. December 26th, the Bitcoin ETFs received over, almost $500 million worth of the net positive inflows, as you can see right here. The Bitcoin ETFs have been a significant part of the Bitcoin rally during this year. The U.S. spot ETFs accounted for about 75% of the new investment into the BIDI, pushing the price past the $50,000 mark February 15th. In fact, I think it was February 12th, the day after my birthday. Correct me if I'm wrong, Oracle. However, Bitcoin faces a significant resistance at 98. A potential rally above this level will liquidate $885 million worth of the leveraged short positions across the exchanges. Well, let's wreck them bears. Let's go. The end of the Christmas holidays could see more institutional liquidity return, some of it in the form of the ETF inflows. The return liquidity can help push the BIDI back above 105. Quoting Ryan Lee, chief analyst of BitGet. Post-Christmas market activity typically picks up again, with the funds expected to actively position for the sector that might benefit the Trump upcoming inauguration coming up on Jan 20th. And in breaking news, Ethiopia uses the Grand Renaissance to power the Bitcoin mining, generating 18% electricity revenue, earning $1 billion for the last year. And as you know, Russia also announced, I shared that in the podcast a few months back, they were opening like a Bitcoin mining hub in Ethiopia. Well, obviously, when you can use Renaissance dams to power your mining, it almost sounds as good as Bukele's volcano energy to stack thy BIDI. Just saying. And Max reiterates, 2.2 million in play. Are you ready, Anon? And talking about laser eyes, those are the laser biddies. Big old biddies. Isn't it dankness? And I'm calling you out, you motorboating son of a bitch. But anyways. Okay, now for some live charts. Are you not entertained? Now for some live charts. Okay, you're looking at the 1 hour Bitcoin chart via Coinbase right here. We do have a bull target sitting at 107.6. Zooming out from the 1 hour, we're going to check out a 4 hour chart. Also has that bull target of 107.6. And zooming out from the 4 hour, take a quick look at a 1 day. The 1 day chart says we're going up forever, Laura. Okay, corrective days, past couple of days, all good in the hood. Still, we're floating above 94. Not too shabby considering where we started the beginning of the year. And zooming out on the daily, we check out the weekly. Still have the sexy cup and handle target. Still sitting purdy at 124, cup and handle, baby. And as you know, Sunday we'll get the final weekly close for the year. And we get the annual close here in roughly 4 days. So you already know. And zooming out from the weekly, we check out the monthly. And the monthly shows Moonvember was the best, most appreciating Bitcoin gain we have had since the inception of the Genesis block. December, currently a little itty bitty in the red, but we still got a few days to prevail. Where do you think the Bitcoin price action will likely lead us before the end of the year? Holla at your boy. Do you think the all-time high for this year, the peak, is in at 108.3, or do you think we retest this, mofo? Let me know. Don't be a stranger. Let's dive into our next story of the day, Here's the latest with the Bitcoin ETFs. Post-Christmas miracle, as they say, as the BIDI ETFs clinch inflows after the 4-day bleed. That time of the month for the BIDI. U.S. ETFs saw net inflows the day after Christmas, stemming 4-hour trading day, run of outflows totaling $1.5 billion. The 11 ETFs, a divine number, and they launched on the 11th. That's at 11/11. The 11 ETFs together saw net inflows of $475 million, December 26th, led by $254 million worth of the flows for the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund. The ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF followed the $186 million of the inflows, while the BlackRock IBIT took 56 milli. Grayscale's mini Bitcoin ETF and Van Eck ETFs also saw more modest inflows of 7 million and 2 million respectively. U.S. markets closed on December 25th. Guess what didn't close? Bitcoin! Open 24/7, even on the holidays. So the inflows follow 4 straight trading days of the total net outflows from the ETFs between December 19th and the 24th, totaling $1.5 billion. IBIT saw the largest single day net outflow of all time of $188 million, December 24th, Christmas Eve, more than doubling its previous record of $72 million. And obviously BlackRock is manipulating the market. And we're going to get into Robert Kiyosaki's 2 Satoshis in a little bit. He actually calls them out, and I couldn't agree more. But anyways, it comes as Bitcoin dropped 2% over the last day, falling from around 98 to just above 96. CoinGlass shows that Ether ETFs have been on their 3rd consecutive trading day of joint net inflows. Did someone say joint? Yes, please, pass the J. Totaling $301 million over that period. The ETH funds on December 26th next took $117 million, again led by Fidelity's ETF with $83 million worth of the inflows. BlackRock's IBIT Trust ETF followed up with $28 million, while the Grayscale ETH Trust took in $6 million. ETH is currently down, and the market share for ETH right now is 12.2%. Yesterday, 12.1%, but very modest considering where it was at the previous, cycles and all that. Obviously, ETH has been correcting. It tapped 4,000 back when Bitcoin hit the 108 current price discovery. But anyways, let me know your thoughts regarding the ETFs. I think they're going to have a massive year next year. And also consider that the Bitcoin ETFs achieve what it took gold 19 years to achieve just this year alone. It's mind-boggling. And now Larry Fink and BlackRock own an insane amount of Bitcoin. And we're going to get into that. Here's the latest with the BlackRock, and I'll start with Robert Kiyosaki's post I was referencing earlier. Rich Dad wrote, Larry Fink dumping Bitcoin. Vivek Ramaswamy warned Larry Fink of BlackRock is a Marxist. Do you think Ramaswamy is an idiot and doesn't really know that already? I'm just connecting dots for you guys. Vivek warned Fink and BlackRock, our shareholder capitalists are not stakeholder capitalists. You don't think he knew? Shareholder capitalists are Marxist, like Charles Schwab, who states someday you'll own nothing and you'll be happy and you'll be eating the bugs. I love Bitcoin in my own wallet, says Rich Dad. I would not trust Bitcoin in BlackRock's ETF. What have I been preaching to you since the ETF went live? Bitcoin is not the same as Bitcoin ETF BTC. All the BlackRock Bitcoin BTC can and most likely will be confiscated by the forces of evil because they're forces of evil. BlackRock suppressing the Bitcoin price so the whales can buy the Bitcoin under 100. Nailed it. I'll keep buying more Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going higher. That's what you're supposed to do. I predict Bitcoin to hit 350,000 in 2025. Why so bearish, Rich Dad? But anyways, here's the next headline. Vote to use BlackRock's BUIDL as backing asset for the Frax stablecoin goes live. The Frax finance community vote to adopt the BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund as a reserve asset for the proposed stablecoin has gone live. Opening yesterday, the 26th, votes cast the decentralized finance DeFi lending protocol. Token holders have been all in favor of the proposal. All the comments and the discussion are also in the favor. The vote will remain open until January 1st. 4 days out. Now, according to the vote summary, the benefits of passing the proposal for Frax USD may include creating yield opportunities, deeper liquidity, transfer options, and reduced counterparty risk due to the backing of the BlackRock. BlackRock ultimately controls the world. If you haven't figured that shit out, what do they got? Assets under management like over 11 trillion. In the December 22nd discussion about the proposal made initially by the real-world asset tokenization platform Securitas, the broker-dealer for the BlackRock BUIDL, the user with a handle, Achaffee, said the move would help to bridge traditional finance and DeFi. And according to Achaffee, tokenized real-world assets provide an excellent bridge between traditional finance and DeFi by bringing the institutional-grade investments on-chain, putting them here. In the past 9 months alone, we have seen the major players, including the DAOs, the centralized protocols, put out the large public RFPs to explore how they can most effectively bolster their treasuries and back their stablecoins with the RWAs. These are explorations marking a significant evolution in how the decentralized players manage the financial resources. Consider cross-industry asset strategies. Now, they hit over $1 billion in assets under management, their BUIDL, in less than 4 months after the launch, which was March 15th. At its price is peg 1.1 with the US dollar, and it pays daily accrued dividends directly to the investors each month through a partnership with Securitas. Now, the fund invests in U.S. government securities, and according to Dune Analytics, compiled the 21 shares, $3.4 billion worth of the tokenized treasury funds are now on-chain. Frax isn't the first to be mulling a potential BUIDL-backed stable. Athena Labs, developer behind Athena, responsible for the U.S. dollar synthetic dollar, said September 26th that it had the BUIDL-backed stablecoin in the works. The stablecoin, dubbed the USDT, ETB is a separate product offering. The Athena USDE USDTB went live December 16 and has accrued 89 million. The total value locked according to the data from the DeFi Llama. Shout out to the DeFi Llama. And what are your thoughts with Rich Dad's rant? Larry Fink's dumping the biddy, controlling the price. He's a Marxist mofo and can't be trusted. Don't stack the biddy in the ETF if you have the option to do so. Self-custody the biddy is the only thing that cannot be confiscated. I can't preach that. Loud enough. And shout out Max Kaiser for being the first one to share that. As soon as the ETFs went live, Max has been calling out, don't trust BlackRock. You don't trust the BlackRock. You don't trust the Bitcoin ETF BTC. The U.S. government can take that Bitcoin. It's confiscatable. You got to make it unconfiscatable. You put it in the cold storage. You can't touch what's in the cold storage. Headline reads, Bitwise files for the ETF tracking firms with the big Bitcoin treasuries. Bitcoin for the treasury. Bitcoin for my enemies. Bitcoin over Hennessy. Bitcoin for the Kennedys. Bitwise, an ETF issuer, submitted the proposal to introduce the new fund designed to invest in publicly traded companies with substantial Bitcoin hodlings. The Bitwise Bitcoin Standard Corporation ETFs would invest in the companies that adopted the Bitcoin standard and holding at least 1,000 of thy biddy and thy corporate treasuries, according to the December 26 regulatory filing. The Bitcoin holding firms would be required to have a market cap of at least 100 million, a minimum average daily liquidity of at least 1 million, and a public free float of under 10% to be included into the ETF. Unlike the other ETFs, which typically give weight to the stock holding based company market caps, Bitwise Fund would assign weight for the holdings based on the market value of the firm's Bitcoin treasuries, capped at a maximum weight of 25%. It would mean, for example, that Tesla, with its 1.4 trillion market cap, would have less weighting in Bitcoin or Bitwise's ETF than MicroStrategy, with its 83 billion market cap, because Tesla owns 9,720 Bitcoin to MicroStrategy's 404. Jesus Christ, Michael Saylor. 444,262 biddies for MicroStrategy. It's pretty mind-boggling. It comes amid a wave of the public companies buying the Bitcoin to boost their stock prices. Obviously, as Bitcoin gained 117% year to date thus far. Bitcoin crossed six figures. Current all-time high price discovery sits just above 108. And you also have KULR Tech, the largest or latest, I think we covered this yesterday, the latest public firm to buy the Bitcoin, announcing it spent 21 million to buy 217 of the biddy, which saw the stock price close up more than 40% of the day for an all-time high of $4.80. Bitwise's ETF filing come the same day as the big Ramsawani founded Strive filed for the launch of the ETF, giving exposure to the Bitcoin bonds. And speaking of the Bitcoin bonds, that's going to be our next story of the day, so stay tuned, broskies and biddy baddies. Next story, here's the latest with the Trump / Ramsawani ETF. Big news from yesterday, and then we'll dive into $1 million price prediction if this one particular event plays out. And spoiler alert: strategic Bitcoin reserve. President Trump, bada boom, bada bing. And then we'll dive into some live Q&A and we'll chillax and kick it with the fam. So yeah, headline here reads, Trump links Strive files for the Bitcoin bond ETF. There you go. Strive, the asset manager founded by Vivek Ramsawani, asked the U.S. regulators for permission. Please, regulators, please let me do it this one time. To list an ETF investing in convertible bonds issued by MicroStrategy and other corporate Bitcoin buyers. According to the December 26 filing, the ETF seeks to offer exposure to the Bitcoin bonds, described as convertible securities issued by MicroStrategy or by the other companies that plan to invest all or a significant portion of the proceeds to purchase the IBIDI, according to the filing. The Strive Bitcoin Bond ETF will actively manage and will gain the exposure to the Bitcoin bonds, either directly or through the financial derivatives such as the swaps and options. But what about the Bitcoin kids? Well, Strive has not yet specified the management fees. Investors will be charged, but actively managed funds typically charge more than the passive index funds. And here you're looking at the entity holding Bitcoin in their treasuries. Currently, entities holding Bitcoin, and on the right, Bitcoin actually in the treasuries. Now, beginning in 2020, MicroStrategy spent about $27 billion buying Bitcoin as part of the corporate treasury strategy spearheaded by the one and only Mikey Saylor. And shout out Timothy. Greatly appreciate that super. Thank you for supporting the stream, fam. Now, its stock, MicroStrategy has gained more than 2,200%. That's a divine omen. What 1100 plus 1100 is 2200. That's an 1111. Just got to point out the obvious. Outperforming practically every sizable public company except NVIDIA. Now, MicroStrategy has financed its buys by issuing a mixture of the new stock and convertible bonds. I ain't talking berry bonds. Its bonds pay low or no interest, but may convert the MicroStrategy shares under certain conditions. Other companies have followed suit. Corporate treasuries now hold about $56 billion worth of the BIDI, according to the BitcoinTreasuries.net. And there you have it, yo. Strive Asset Management Prospectus coming directly from the Ram Sawani. Now for the Trump connection, eh? Ram Sawani, an outspoken ally of President Trump, founded Strive in 2022. The asset manager aims to help the investors harness the power of the capitalism. Now in 2023, Ram Sawani, who earned most of his $1 billion net worth from founding biotech startup Rivian Science, campaigned against a Trumpster in the Republican presidential primary. He later endorsed the president-elect. November, Ram Sawani joined Tesla founder Elon as the leader of the Department of the Government Efficiency, better known as DOGE, a private initiative intended to cut the wasteful government spending. Now, industry analysts see Trump's presidential win as the green light for more than half a dozen proposed crypto ETFs, waiting on regulatory approval to list here in the United States of America. And in 2024, the asset manager submitted a fist of fury of regulatory filings, good Lord, to list the ETFs holding alts, including Solana, XRP, and the Litecoin. And since winning the U.S. presidential election November 5th, Trump proposed appointing a pro-crypto industry leadership for the key regulatory agency. Gary, you're fired. Go home. Get your shine box. There's a Nippinator in town. And in December, the president-elect announced former PayPal chief operating officer David Sachs as his AI crypto czar and former SEC commissioner Paul Atkins as his pick for the Securities and Exchange Commission chair. So hit the road, Gary. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Now for our feature story of the day. Will Bitcoin hit $1 million? Well, 2025, it can occur under one circumstance, according to some top analysts. So let's break this baby down. Here we go. The possibility of the BIDI reaching a coveted 1 million milestone hinges primarily on one crucial factor: the establishment of the U.S. government strategic Bitcoin reserve. Let me tell you something. This assessment comes from Jeff Park, head of the Alpha Strategies at Bitwise Asset Management, who estimate the probability of such an initiative at less than 10%. So you're telling me there's a chance? Amen. According to Park's latest prediction, there is a possibility that the BIDI price will hit 1 million next year. However, the chances are only around 10%. Why this specific probability? He assigns the same likelihood to the potential establishment of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve in the United States. So let's break down his insights here. This is coming from Jeff Park, reading it to you verbatim. The idea of the federal Bitcoin Strategic Reserve happening in 2025 is less than a 10% chance event. That is the only math in which Bitcoin can hit $1 million plus in 2025 when it happens. Notice he didn't say if. Bullish. Here's a simple illustration of how the probability math works. Bottom right looks most probable to me. An example at a 2.5% chance. And let's get back to the story here. And shout out to the Jeff Park. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Some of what he outlined with the probability and the percentage and the price targets. And you can see the 1 million at the very bottom there. So the crypto market has demonstrated a remarkable resilience, with Bitcoin currently trading at roughly 94 Gs at the time of the live stream, with 108 as the current all-time high, suggesting a federal Bitcoin reserve represents only a mathematical pathway for the Bitcoin to surpass 1 million threshold in 2025. Speaking of legislative framework, we got Senator Cynthia Lummis had already laid the groundwork for such the initiative, introducing draft legislation that would mandate the U.S. Treasury to acquire 1 billion of the Bitcoin over 5 years. This ambitious proposal has sparked the intense debate within the political and financial circles. And while Park maintains a is that Peter Parker? Any relation to Spider-Man? The conservative outlook and the probability of the strategic reserve market sentiment appears optimistic. Polymarket participants currently price the likelihood of the U.S. Bitcoin reserve at 31%. And I would dare say that market is going to be a more accurate representation because people are putting the money on it. So 31% chance. So you can make the underdog bet. If you believe Trump is going to do what he says, you bet on that. And you're a winner. If you're sus, maybe bet against it, but no, never bet against that BIDI hitting $1 million. You're just going to be regretting that one. December 27th, Bitcoin, well, obviously that's today. We're trading just above 94,000. Let me provide some more insights from Van Eck. This is a target Van Eck shared on X. It looks like December 13th. $118 billion Van Eck predicts 180,000 Bitcoin in the U.S. will embrace the strategic Bitcoin reserve in 2025. Quoting them here. Following the first peak, we anticipate a 30% retracement of the BIDI, with the alt facing sharper declines up to 60% for the market consolidates during the summer. However, a recovery is likely in the fall. Major tokens regaining momentum, reclaiming previous all-time highs by the end of the year. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And you already know, regulation is the key. It's already being embraced, obviously, by the governments around the world, major asset managers around the world. And here's what else I wanted to share. Van Eck, top 10 crypto predictions for 2025. You guys ready? Well, make some motherfucking noise. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface, calm and ready to keep ripping. It's the new Scottie Pippen. Number one, crypto bull market hits a medium-term peak in quarter one, setting new highs in quarter four. Number two, U.S. embraces the Bitcoin with strategic reserves and increased crypto adoption. Number three, value of the tokenized securities exceed $50 billion. Number four, stablecoins daily settlement volume reaches $300 billion. Number five, AI agents on-chain activity surpasses 1 million agents. We're talking about Agent Smith from the Matrix. Number six, layer twos for the BIDI reach 100,000 Bitcoin in total lock value. Number seven, the Ethereum blob space generates $1 billion in fees. The blob space, eh? DeFi hits the all-time high with a 4 trillion DEX volume with a 200 billion. And NFT market recovery with the trading volumes reaching 30 billion, and the DApp tokens narrow the performance with the layer one tokens. But anyways, back to the probability of the strategic Bitcoin reserve. What's your thoughts? Do you agree more with Polymarket, 35%-ish chance? Or do you agree more with Jeff Park that it's a long shot, maybe only a 10% chance of happening, sending the Bitcoin price parabolic to $1 million per coin? And speaking about $1 million per coin, let's send it straight to 1.1 million for the hell of it, just to hit the target. And with that being shared, welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream.